Hi, welcome back. I hope you had a good week. This is Gracie again with Beautiful Life Self-Care. And as promised, I'm just recording these videos back to back, but you're getting them 1 week apart, which is good because I'm talking about integration and we need time and space to integrate. This is the kind of one of the culminating moments of our reimagining the heroine's journey. I'm in India right now as you get this, which is why I'm recording these videos in advance. So I'm going on a really deep retreat, leading other people into retreat and into doing my own integration. So even though you all can't come, although I want you to, this is just a chance for you to start to tap into that for yourself if you'd like. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about importance of integration, and if we want to grow, we need to be able to integrate what's come before us, and to look at like our desire for harmony and how maybe we need to integrate that and transcend it, meaning that we desire harmony, but we also have to make space for conflict and for looking at the hard stuff of life, and that's the next level of integration. We talked about this in the heroine's journey. One of the last steps is integrating both our masculine and feminine energies. And so last week I talked about integrating masculine and that being, toxic masculine, of that drive for the ego to exploit and hurt others for selfish gain. And then healthy masculine, it's the drive for the, to protect and to feel safe. I recommend to start to bring the healthy masculine back into the life, which helps the toxic masculine, is to set up routines around self-care, daily routines and weekly routines, so you can just wake up and your nervous system is cared for and you start to feel safer in yourself, that you're protecting yourself. Helps you become stronger in yourself to set up these really stable self-care routines, and then that helps you express the masculine out into the world and protect and help others. This week, we're talking about integrating our feminine energy. And so we have, just like toxic masculine and healthy masculine, we have toxic and healthy feminine. Toxic feminine is, it's hard. My teacher Diane talks about this, that we've done a lot of work around what is toxic masculine, like we know in our culture what that is, and that we haven't quite started to look at what toxic feminine is, but like I definitely know it, so I'm going to try to describe it and hopefully it'll come out right. I think of toxic feminine is like gossipy, manipulative, feeling like not asking for things directly, but trying to like make something happen, like going behind somebody's back, kind of saying one thing and meaning another, not being clear, like being purposely confusing so we like can get the energy to move in the direction that we want, making things really crazy and just kind of trying to pull everyone down in our path. I like worked at a Montessori school when I was in college, and I saw little boys, when they would fight, they would kind of like, steal somebody's toy and run away, or maybe hit somebody. It was very direct. And when little girls, even like as early as like 3 and 4 years old, they would start to gossip and they would exclude each other. I think the toxic feminine is definitely the inclusion and exclusion, that you don't belong here, we're going to push you out. And that feeling of like competition. I think with masculine, that I think they take the competition in a healthier way, but I think we really use competition as a way to take each other down. And I think that it can be really deeply hurtful and really damaging, actually. So something that I have to look at in myself all the time, because I have those drives to gossip and be cool and all the things that come from the toxic feminine. The healthy feminine is like, it's the opposite. It's acceptance. It's the desire to nurture. It's the desire to create beauty. So it's being able to like, set up a room in a way that feels really beautiful, that you walk into it and you feel like, oh, that's like, I feel relaxed. So it's setting up the space in a really beautiful way. It's listening to people. The feminine is very receptive. The masculine is a little bit more penetrative. It's direct. And so the feminine, it's more about the listening, the taking in, the making the beautiful space, the nurturing, the connection is key for feminine. That's why my girlfriends and I can get together and we can talk and talk and talk for hours. It's always been this way ever since I was little, on the phone, talking and talking and talking for hours. And it doesn't matter what we're saying as much as just that feeling of connection and how good that feeling is. And yeah, so I think that's it, like connection, nurturing, making beautiful spaces, and that, like this feeling of praise and abundance and like there's enough and let me give you more. And so like the healthy masculine is this structure and this safety and this taking care of and this providing this like containment, and the healthy feminine is this like life and joy and beauty. And when they work together, it's such a beautiful partnership. One of my clients once described it as like a fire in a fireplace, that the masculine's the fireplace that keeps the fire contained so it burns in a way it doesn't burn everything down. And so whether you're a man or a woman listening to this, like to integrate the feminine is really about connections to other people. The masculine is a little bit more of this hero's journey. I'm going to go off on my own, but the heroine's journey, I think, is much more of like, I'm going to include other people. I'm going to get ideas. I'm going to have these conversations. I'm going to really listen. I'm going to listen to myself. That intuition is a big part of our feminine power, the healthy feminine power. So I'm going to listen to myself. And I'm going to listen to myself through other people. And the coaching work that I do, I work right now just with women. I'm starting to introduce my friend Mark's male coaching program. And it's, but for the women, it's like we really, really need that ability to like connect with each other and support each other and understand each other. And so if you want to start to integrate healthy feminine, it's to bring relationship into your life in a way that's vulnerable. I think the feminine's very vulnerable too, which is, doesn't mean weak. It just means it's open and it can feel things, and it's not closed off. And so in the coaching work that I do, we're so vulnerable with each other. We really talk about where we're struggling, where we don't feel like we're doing a good job. And it's in that, like, hearing everybody else share, and it opens something in all of us. And we can't make a change unless we're open. And it's really, really hard to make a significant change unless we feel support. And this is because we're tribal beings. This is so built into our nature. So integration of the healthy feminine is to have friends in your life that you feel like you can be vulnerable around, that you can go to when you're struggling, that are there for you, that can support you. And to rely on that and to use that and to see that it's not a weak thing to accept support from others, but it's actually a strong thing. And that the more you can do it, the more you can actually authentically support other people in your life, and that there's enough to go around, and that you have that power inside of you, and it just amplifies the more we can give it to each other. So I look at the world right now and the need of this healthy feminine energy, and in this way to start, but just by being vulnerable, asking for support. And how much do we wish that people who are in charge sometimes were just vulnerable and, asked for what they needed and talked about where they were struggling. I think it would alleviate so many big problems in the world right now. And I think the more that we can see that we are supported and that we do love each other, and that we have this capacity, that the less we'll want to go into that toxic feminine of like trying to exclude others or be hurtful to others or manipulative. And we see instead that we can just relax, have ease, things will start to happen. We don't need to be so in control all the time. And that's how they work together, the masculine and the feminine. We protect ourselves, we feel safe, we have routines, we follow through on our goals, and then we just relax, enjoy beauty, and let ourselves feel connected to those around us. And when we get there, I think that is the feminine journey. That is the heroine's journey, which also is probably a lot of ways the end of the hero's journey as well. I think it does come back together at the end. So I'll have one more wrap-up email after I get back from India to close this work and share about my journey. And I'm sure a lot of this will come up while I'm there. Please write me if you have any questions or comments. This whole journey has actually been fed by feedback from other people. So your responses will help me figure out what to share next, which maybe will help others to feel things or understand things. And this work isn't done. I think we're just getting started on what it means to be in touch with our feminine energy, to integrate, to transcend, to welcome conflict back into our lives, to have these beautiful lives that feel like us, and that each one of us is part of this. So have a great week. Thank you for listening to this video series, and I'll be in touch when I'm a little less jet lagged and landed. And yeah, take care. Be well. Bye-bye.